So let's look at this one. The two-way classification of married or previously married adults under 40, according to gender and age at first marriage. We looked at in example 21 and we had this table. We want to determine whether or not the events female and E, which is was a teenager at first marriage, are independent. So we want to know if female and E, F and E, are independent events. All right, now I have transferred this already to this second sheet. We want to know if, or really, F and E are independent. That's our question. Now, two events are independent if we can multiply their separate probabilities together, and that's equal to the same thing as the intersection of their probability. Or I really should have said the probability of their intersection. All right, so there is what we need to prove. Is this true? If it's true, they are independent. If it's not true, they are dependent. All right, so let's figure out these probabilities. And the truth is, I believe we already did in a prior example, but it's good for us to go ahead and go through this because some of your questions are just going to ask you for independence, and we're going to start from the beginning to find it. So let's start with the probability of E. If we look at E, this whole row defines E. There are 125 people who have this characteristic of being teenagers when they first got married. So 125 out of 902. And we want to multiply that times the probability of F. Well, if we look at the row of F, there are 452 females out of 902. And we want to know, is that the same as the intersection of the two? So E and F. Now, we want, when we're looking for the intersection, we want where E and F collide with one another. So let's notice, here's E, here's F. They come together in this single cell right here with 82 people who are both female and who got married as teenagers. So 82 out of 902. All right, now it's a little difficult to tell right now whether or not these two are equal to one another, so let's use decimals. On the left side, I'm just going to put this into my calculator, these two fractions multiplied one by one another, and see what decimal I get. All right, so for this left side, I get 0.0694. All right, well, let's put the right side into our calculator, 82 over 902. All right, so that gives me 0.0909. Now let's notice that these two numbers are not equal to one another, so this statement is definitely not true. If they had been equal to each other, we would have said yes, E and F are independent, but in this case they are not independent. Or the better word might be that they are just dependent.